Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aditya aka Eddie and you're watching Eddie the Thinker. This is the first episode in the Quality of Entertainment series and today we're going to talk about video games. But first, video games for me was once an exciting, innovative, and an immersive medium for telling stories. I grew up during the 5th and 6th generation of video game consoles. Although I started to appreciate video games at the end of the 5th generation, the 6th generation is what I remember best and I have fond memories of. We are currently in the 9th generation of video game consoles, but unfortunately, I've noticed that towards the end of the 7th generation, the quality of video games have gone from innovative to a cash-grabbing scam. Now, I understand this is harsh, and in this episode, I'm going to defend my statement. Heads up, I'll be presenting the information in point form. I'm not ranking them, I'm not saying one is better than the other. It's just information presented in point form. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get started. Quantity over quality. Let us start with the obvious. This is not unique to video games. This can be seen in the movies and the music industry. The problem is that there are too many sequels. Or should I say overusage of the formula for profits. I don't know why video game developers insist on a yearly release. I get it, as a business, obviously you want to get profits, but in the long run, too many sequels mean a stale product. Take it from an artist that quantity is not sustainable. Quality is important. It sets you apart from the others and it helps you build trust with your audience. Well, it's not all bad. To be fair, the quality you do get is graphics. The new games look phenomenal. My recommendation to the video game developers is, instead of focusing on sequels, focus on the quality of gameplay. Try to make it a more immersive experience.
And I'd like to show you something that just may change the way you experience entertainment. It's called a Wii, and it's from Nintendo.
When the Nintendo Wii came out, I thought that was the next step in video games. The Wii mode could be used as a tennis racket, golf club, boxing gloves, steering wheel, and with an accessory could even become a gun. The graphics were bad though. I was hoping Nintendo would release the Wii 2 with better graphics. Sadly, that did not happen. Today, virtual reality or VR is slowly picking up steam. The Oculus Quest, the Meta Quest does have its fair share of games, but there is work to do. Remasters and remakes. We seem to be living in the age of remasters and remakes. To me, the golden era of video games was the 5th, 6th, and partly the 7th generation of video game consoles. This was when video games were truly defining themselves as a genre. They were exploring all possibilities and limitations of the medium. Today, in 2021, they seem to be capitalizing on nostalgia. This is what I mean by cash-grabbing scam. But if you are a true hardcore gamer, you probably already have the original console and the original titles. So who are the remakes actually for? Let me take it a step further. Would it actually make sense to buy a console from the current generation? It would make more sense to go back to my old console and play the original titles. And if you don't have those consoles, you can get those original consoles at a fraction of the price. Or forget spending altogether. The laptop sitting in your cupboard would suffice. Reboots. If not remasters or remakes, it's reboots. Take Assassin's Creed as an example. After releasing a title every single year, the series got stale. In 2017, they rebooted the series and released Assassin's Creed Origins. The game had a new character, new setting, and brand new gameplay mechanics. The game was not too bad, but the next two titles were hardly Assassin's Creed. It's almost as if they were selling us a brand new game with a brand new concept under the Assassin's Creed license. Why? Because Assassin's Creed is a cash cow. Seriously, take out Assassin's Creed from the title and all the forced references throughout the game, and Odyssey becomes a decent game set in ancient Greece, and Valhalla is a decent game set in the age of the Vikings. Downloadable content or DLC. DLC is a curse that has plagued the industry in recent times. Basically, they sell you half a game at full price, and then they charge you a high fee for parts of the remainder of the game. I miss the days you could buy a game, the whole thing, and as you progress, you unlock outfits and weapons. It was more rewarding back then. Another unfortunate trend in the industry is microtransactions. These microtransactions cause major aggression, right? Anybody? I bought the game, isn't that enough? Now you want me to spend more to enhance my character and finish the game? This is daylight robbery. They sell broken, unfinished video games. As if selling you half the game wasn't bad enough, the part they do sell is unfinished, bugged, unpolished. Look at all these titles that were not ready but were released. The saddest part is this is becoming more common these days. Unfortunately for us, we live in the digital age. They fix all problems with patches and updates. Question is, why would you sell a product that's defective? I mean, would you buy a book that does not have half the pages and the company promises to mail you the missing pages in the coming months? No, but we do it with video games. Why do we allow this? Let me be clear to the video game developers that we are players, not beta testers. You should have tested it for bugs before releasing it. There are so many YouTubers out there who sign the non-disclosure agreement to test games. Are they not enough? Perhaps you should test it more before releasing it. Look at it from our perspective. We pay $60 or more for a title. We are then hyped about the game through early gameplay footage. Then the game is released. But oh, I'm sorry, the game's bugged. It's so disappointing. If this continues, the player will not trust the developer, meaning no pre-orders and you can kiss your profits goodbye. Furthermore, the player will review bomb your title all over the internet. Again, it's not going to do you any favors. It's sad that an average consumer has to teach you basic business ethics. Open worlds, not enough linear gameplay. Another trend I have noticed in the recent years is the saturation of the market with open world free roam games. It's absolutely amazing that we can create a living, breathing world that we are free to roam about. But that does not mean every single game has to be a free roam open world game. Now I understand developers reuse assets to speed up the development of games, but sometimes you need games with linear gameplay. The story can be told better with linear gameplay. Open world games tend to focus on exploration, discovery, and upgrading our equipment. You cannot tell a good story when you force players to complete repetitive side missions in order to get a higher XP or upgrade equipment. It just pulls you out of the experience. Case in point, take James Bond 007 Everything or Nothing. This game was released in 2004 and was structured like a James Bond movie, complete with a prologue, an original song, actors reprising their role, gadgets, exotic locations around the world. You even earn points for completing a Bond move. While playing this game, you feel like you're watching a James Bond movie. Even games like Assassin's Creed 2 was fairly linear. Although you're free to roam about between missions, the story was well structured. The video game industry is toxic. Controversies like overworking staff during crunch time, harassment of employees and fans, launching substandard products, and microtransactions have shown that the video game industry is indeed a very toxic place right now. It is increasingly difficult to support an industry whose only goal is profits. It's no longer about the art or the gameplay or the story. It's all about the money. We have seen multiple companies go down. These names ring a bell? Many of them were acquired by bigger companies and then were shut down or made inactive. In the process, a lot of great titles, great franchises become abandoned. Well, these titles are called abandonware. Competition is good because it encourages companies to be their best. And you know what? The consumers win. The players, that's you and I, we win because we have access to so many amazing titles. And to the video game developers, all I have to say is embrace the competition. Instead of trying to take the company down or releasing a product that's really close to your rivals, focus on your growth. Make a game that's unique, that's immersive. Let your quality speak. Granted, a lot of companies are profit-oriented, but my question to you, dear video game developers, is why should I support a company that's lazy? You really can rest on your laurels. I mean, if you did something good, great, be proud of it, but don't let it get in the way of your next project. Don't use shortcuts and release a remake or a remaster or a sequel just to milk a cash cow. But you know what? It's not all your fault. The fault is also on us, the players. We allow you to get away with this. We can make or break a company by simply deciding to buy a game or not. As long as they get their profits, they will continue what they're doing. It is up to us players to take a stand. Well, that's our episode for today. So tell me, was I harsh or did I miss a few points? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll be back soon with another episode. Until then, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you soon.